All right, Grand Day, Soul Siblings is Shay Seeking again, and we're still in that Kolbrin Bible. You know, um, again, I cannot believe some of the things that are in this text, and so I'm as I'm taking this somewhat chill pill, I told myself there's certain parts of this text that I want to grasp, and I want to just share with the people. Okay, again, okay. In order for us to grow, okay, or ascend, or get a better understanding or take on things, these scrolls and these books are open. So again, it's to bring some type of remembrance, okay? It's to help those that already have something in them that's telling them something, but they can't grasp. There's no way to, there's nothing somewhat tangible, which is something that we're used to, okay? They've taken away most forms of a deeper understanding of spirituality, if we want to call it that, understanding, a level of being, knowing, discernment, common sense, these things that have been challenged in this structured system or this construct that we live under, because of the fact of they did not want you to know these things, and they did not want you to know who you are. So this Kolbrin Bible is a Bible, okay, but there go roundabout as to where it came from, and again, none of that should matter, because there's so many profound things that are happening right now in our times that we can clearly see taking place in this text, that is something that again can help some of those who are on that. See, the reason why I do these type of videos is just to use the words that they use, define some of these meanings that they have, in order for us to get a better understanding. Because if someone has already toyed with your perception or your lens, okay, in a way where everything is flipped upside down backwards, or everything is being told on a certain to give you a certain perception, right? So again, I do these things just to help people. Like, we're all, doing our own inner work. Hopefully we're looking to nature, we're looking to each other, we're looking at outwardly things, signs and symbols. We're also looking within. We're also dwelling within, asking questions, going straight to that higher consciousness, or anybody can have whatever they want to call it, Christ consciousness, knowing, Gnosticism, whatever you want to call it. You may not want to call it that, but whatever it is, that is something that is within you, okay, a natural you being a God, whatever it is. These things, these tools are here to help us remember, and this is why they have not been talked about. Okay, they say that they keep this one far away from religion, or from religious people, because I think because it's going to tell you in your soul and your spirit exactly what it is. So again, these are to help people that may not be able to grasp that something that's trying to tell you something, in order just to ground yourself in a way where we are seeking something deeper. Okay, so again, there's always going to be inner work. There's always going to be your perception. There's always going to be the way you view it. But again, most likely I feel that those who are who have stumbled across this video are those that will definitely understand. Okay, especially if you've been on this channel for a while, and how we define terms like men, earth, woman, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and go right in. And this time I'm gonna try to go clean through. I'm not gonna stop with my interpretations, because I feel like I don't even need to. Okay. So if you want to get a pencil or a paper to jot down some of these words, to take them and look at them in etymology or a dictionary or whatever you want to do to dissect and study the words, please do so. Okay. So again, this is the second scroll. I think I already did the first scroll, where we talked about the great one arrayed in robes of black linen and wearing a headdress of red. Okay, and I told you guys, I think that makes me feel like we're talking about something to do with something Moorish, in a sense. Okay, so now we're talking about some of the things that are going to transpire or that have happened in the past. Okay, so it says this is scroll chapter 2, the scroll of kamushahre. Okay? Kamushahre. I don't know. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. But again, we're talking about what is being talked about here. Okay? So it says, in this fertile black land, there are those who worship the sun, and they call it the greatest and the most bountiful among all gods, the seer of heaven, the orb of glory. They tell many tales about the coming of the sun people. Okay, and again, I will just make one reference to the fact that I'm going to be doing another breakdown on the second episode of American Gods, because there is some okay. So in one scene in that episode, he said something to goodness, what the hell is his name? Whatever moon, shadow moon, about, he said, what am I supposed to do? What is this? And he said, look to the Anakin. Okay. So that's all I wanted to throw in there. And then it says, they tell many tales about the coming of the sun people. Okay. And again, this book also is referenced after Nibiru or Planet X. Okay. The sun people of the land, and from whence they came. They also tell of the squalid manner in which men dwelt before the golden one led his people hence. He came to the fertile land. Okay, so again, I'm thinking Genesis at this point. It may be okay to do that. Okay, so he came to the fertile land. Now it is a pleasant place with many great cities and contented villages. Okay, make sure it's still recording. There is a great broad river of fresh water. Okay, which rises and falls in its due seasons. Channels there are, and waterways which lead the fertilizing waters onto the growing things, the herbage and the trees. There are flocks of sheep and herds of cattle on the green pastures. It is not ever thus in the day before Herecta, Herecta came. All was barren and desolate. Okay? Naught divided the wilderness from the swamplands filled with reeds. Then there were no cattle or sheep, and the land knew not the hand of man. It lay untilled and unwatered. Okay? We know that tillage is the breaking down of land, the earth, the original people. It had not been tilled yet. Okay? Broken up to make it more docile or weak. Okay? Because it was a chaotic mass at first, right? With these dark vapors. But it had not been formed. So when it says the earth was first in Genesis, but it had not been formed. Okay? It had not been fondled or watered yet. And water is making reference to foreign entities that come through waterways or through the water to the land to birth nations. You understand? Okay? So it says, all right, so it was untilled and unwatered. It had not made it rain on the earth, which is the original people. And rain is just talking about control or be a ruler of. Okay, so there was nobody doing that. No man, because man represents foreign entities that are what they call 1% elitist, these particular people. Okay, no land was sown. So there was no seeds planted by semen yet. For they who dwelt in it knew not the making of waterways. nor did they know how to command the water and make it flow at their behest. There were no cities, and men dwelt in holes in the ground, or in places where the rock was cleft. So again, we notice that a lot of these forts that were built in order to make battle or war against the earth or the gods, they're on cliffs in this country. A lot of them, they're on the edge of a brink or up against the water. Okay, all right. They walked in their nakedness or clothed themselves with the leaves or bark. All right. And nakedness could also be, it doesn't have to mean that these people were naked without any clothes on. It means that they were not tainted, amalgamated, mixed. This is what we're talking about here. Okay. While at might, they covered themselves with the skin of the wild beasts. They fought with the jackal for food and snatched dead things from the lion. Who could be the lion? The lion, could it be of Judah? I don't know. Could it be the lion that represents the lion that's on Trump's coat of arms, and the one that has to do with Europe and the Brits? Who knows? They pulled roots from out of the ground. Family roots? Possibly. Okay, I'm just showing you that there's there's many levels to this. But when we're talking about these things in the Bible, they're not always talking about the random it's not talking about the perception or the way we perceive the world today, because we've been trained to see it that way, to not see the deeper layers. It can go in all many different directions, and many of us are being called to decipher, or to just share, or just open up minds, just to have people think like on their own about these things and look deeply. And actually, it's not about what anybody is saying, it's what the definitions mean, especially when you're talking etymology, which is the history of the word. You know what I'm saying? It's about enlightening, enlightenment, okay? And seeing through different lenses, things that we have been asleep. This is the awakening, so a lot of shit is going to be brought to light. Okay? Your eyes are going to be open. All right? So it says, out of the ground, and sought for sustenance among things. So again, when we're talking about why has their countenance fallen, think about what we're talking about in that Bible. Amongst things that grew in the mud. Okay, kind of like those mangrove trees, huh? They had none to rule over them, nor did they hold on, okay, just making sure. Okay, they had none to rule over them or reign. Okay, nor had they leaders to guide. They knew not obligations of duty. Kind of sound like the same thing now. None spoke to them about their manner of life, and none knew the way of truth. They were truly unenlightened in these days, or in those days. And again, the only reason why I have been driven to go even in this direction, and I'm actually going ahead and doing it online or recording it, is because many of these things that I'm going to read to you in the next couple of days were in Biden's 20-minute inauguration video. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to read to you in the next couple of days is in that video that he did, and you better be knowing how to decode that motherfucker. I'm just telling you, this is why I feel it's very important. I'm changing my course to a certain extent. Okay, all right, not to intercept as much, but I really want to point these things out to you because, again, the time is nigh, right? Okay? So, they were truly unenlightened in those days. Then came the servant of the Son, or maybe the Son of Man, I don't know. Okay? Or maid husbandman, maybe, possibly. I don't know. And he is who brought the people together and put rulers over them. Now, we do know that Washington Again, people are going to have different, there's different layers. I'm pretty sure there's something else deeper than this, but we're just going to keep it simple. Okay? Because the word Washington means to wash something or make it clean or bleach it or make it white to a certain extent. Now, you got to do the work on your own, right? To see what I'm saying, but that's just what I'm saying, right? And you notice that there's a lot of white buildings but then you look at some of these smaller towns and you'll see that there's a lot of red brick buildings, old buildings that are being taken down, falling apart, or that have been there for a very, very long time. Again. Okay. He set Rammer, up as king over the whole land. He showed them, man and woman, how to dwell together in the contentment as husband and wife. And he divided their tasks between them. He instructed men in the sowing of corn and the growing of herbs. He instructed them in the tilling of the ground and the manner of cutting the waterways and channels. So we're talking about like putting up dikes and putting up different types of, dams and things like this, okay? Maybe even some of those mines, the copper mines and all the mines that would be all around. He it was who showed men the way of the beast of the field, okay? He instructed men in working of gold and silver and making vessels from clay, okay? This is talking about DNA, honey, okay? He instructed men in the hewing and cutting of stone, okay? This could be the stone or your mind or that stone or that rock or that gem or that whatever you would want to call it. That would be dealing with your possibly pineal. And the building of temples and cities, making of linens and dyeing of clothes. Now, this is the making of linens. Okay, I can give that to you. I'm not sure. The linens could be your hair. Okay. But the clothing, okay, that forms garments is your skin, your epidermis, or what they might want to call it. Okay. All right. Ever pleasing to the eye, because remember, God wanted to make things light. He wanted to make things light, and he spent 7 days, possibly in 7 different continents, so-called, in order to do so. America would be the last. Well, she would be first, in a sense, but to be colonized fully. You understand? But this could be also after they have already gone through and taken so many of our people from here and dispersed them in other places. Right? Because if you look at South Asia, you'll see those people are sometimes darker skinned, sometimes have afro hair. If you look at Africa, so-called, then you'll see also that the portion where all of the so-called black people live is in the middle portion of Africa. Northern Africa is more olive tone skin, light skinned people. And this is not me talking about people. This is me we're just breaking things down a little bit. And then you can see South Africa supposedly is filled with, of course, there are still dark-skinned people all around the country. You know what I'm saying? But if you really look at it, it's just that portion. Okay? All right? So, it's saying here that garments ever pleasing to the eye. And again, God was pleased. Every time they made something light, he was pleased. He was pleased. He did not teach, neither did he instruct them in the making of bricks or the working of copper. Then when he departed, he bade, the people not to weep. For though he went to his father, the son would adopt them as his children, and all could become sons of the Son. Ain't that the same thing these motherfuckers talking about today? I'm just saying. Okay? Thus many became. Now, again, I get excited because, again, these are things that are already swarming around in my sleep, in my mind, when I wake, so these things are already swarming around. So to find out when I'm listening and looking and paying attention and researching, it's all there already. It's all there already. They talk about the Akashic records. Yes, it's all there already. These little things right here, these little tools are just to take you there. Also, once you get into self, other things are going to take you into nature, Things are going to be doing things. You might have your niche that you picked up, that you're able to, or your calling that you're supposed to be sharing. See, everyone has some part. Okay, so there's some people that, again, have certain callings, and it's just to undo things or help unlock things, because again, everybody's mind would be shut. So the original thing that's happening that amongst us is something that they cannot control. They don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. We're just all groping around trying to figure it out. And yes, some of these tools, and yes, some of these things, some of the paperwork, everything that we're doing, I'm never knocking any of that stuff. All of this stuff is stuff that had to happen in order to make things move. It had to happen. And it's still going on. Don't let them think, because it should seem like it's all peaceful right now after that whole thing went on the other day, that's just it. No. Then y'all really clearly didn't decipher what the hell was said in that speech, that 20-minute speech. Okay? So it says here that adopt them as their children, their sons of the Son. Thus many became sons and servants of the Son, and they believed what they had heard. Now this makes me think about, again, and I'm not throwing no shade at nobody, so don't even come back here with that. Okay? They had heard that the Son was their Father and the light of the goodness, overlooking the whole land. Okay, so again, this makes me think about something when we were just saying that they came sons and servants of the Son, and they believed that what they heard. Okay, so again, I think I peeped, again, this is just my perception, that Biden was acknowledging, okay, I'll use Abaddon because I don't want the videos to be whatever. Okay, so was speaking about us directly to us in some of those statements. Now, if you don't know, maybe you will refresh your mind that I even said that. Okay, all right. And so it says here that I think, well, what I was saying is, I think that the adopting part, or them lifting up the earth, that is talking about some of the people that have probably changed their nationality or gotten things straight in that area. Okay, all right. So all these things, again, I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying these are things that had to happen. Okay. All right. Overlooking the whole land. It is the light that sustains all living things, which also makes me think about that whole the whole white. Okay. Purity, or you see what I'm saying, to that extent. Okay. Or even something I read in the Bible where it said, go back to what you were before. And then I was telling you guys that looking through a lot of documents and stuff, you'll see that sometimes an ancestor might have been colored or Indian or something else. And then at some point in time, it changed around 80 years or so, that they would become white. Excuse me. And so, okay, so light, really? That sustains all living things, but within it is the greater light. Okay, now think about that the light coming out of the top of somebody's head when we're talking about chakras. Think about these kind of things, or you probably already are. Okay, but within the greater light, which sustains the spirit, is the light that enlightens the heart of men. There are lesser lights that guide men about their daily tasks and shield them from harm. There are unseen lights that influence men for good or ill. I'm thinking aura even here. Okay. But it is the great light that burnishes coldness and makes all men warm. Y'all seen Bernie Sanders at that motherfucking inauguration? I'm just saying. Sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, y'all. Okay, that is I'm sorry. Okay. The warmth it bestows ripens the harvest, okay, of man, and makes his herds yield their increase. It, it oversees the whole activity of men on earth as it journeys the skies from one end to the other. Thus it knows the need of all men. Therefore, be like the sun, be far-seeing, foresighted, be regular in your coming and going while about your daily tasks. No strange activity, no social no contact, contact tracing, social distancing. Put a fucking mask on, you know what I'm saying? When their guide and teacher left, the people knew themselves as children of the sun. They were warlike and subdued other people. They were warlike. What was he saying in that speech? I'm just trying to figure out, as y'all listening, okay? Don't make me have to pull that, because I ain't trying to do that, because that's going to just be bringing too much attention. Listen to that video, and then tell me, get your Kolbrin Bible if you got one, and read these couple chapters, including the destroyer in the damn dark days, okay? They were warlike and subdued other people in its name and brought them under its rule. Then great temples, again, this is reminding me of land back. It all has to happen. Were raised up to it, and for a time it displaced a greater God. See? And so this is the thing, not two gods. See, Biden want to make sure you just worship, him, but he was talking to us and God. See, because where's God? Sitting on that throne. Where is that at? Woo. Okay. Which the people of this land has set up in their ignorance. Okay. They was ignorant and they set this up, right? Could this be Corona or the crown? I'm just asking. The one true God, it never displaced. For the true God was ever hidden from the eyes of the profane and ignorant. So again, profane and ignorant. Profanity. And I'm not talking about no damn cussing. Okay? Profane and ignorant. Lack of knowledge. I don't know. Okay. All right. Then some priests, all right, among those who followed the rule of the sun, stole its spirit and brought it down. You understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying about this damn sharp sickle. We'll call it that. Stole its spirit. See, because they keep talking about they battling for the soul of America, right? Okay. Y'all notice that he told the last thing that came out his mouth was, and for God to please protect, because you better know who this God is by now. You better know who the fuck this God is by now that you asking for, because you just might get what you was just asking for. And we know that there's more bloodshed when he step on the scene than it is when Satan or the devil even step on the scene. You understand? All right. So that it's enlivened the statues and images of their God, or enlivened, apologies. Thus the spirit which enlivens all the lesser gods is but the one spirit held in captivity. Another thing, I don't know if y'all seen, I don't know what her name is, that one so-called black lady that always got the big thick braids and stuff in her hair, and she was just speaking yesterday. They had that video of her going around speaking, and what did she have? She had a mask on, and behind her there was a very interesting I don't know if she was in the rotunda or another room or near that. Could have been any place. I don't know what's going on in those places. I'm just, but there was a statue behind her that was, again, some of those statues, and you'll read in the Bible about the ones that is in white robes and that they're stuck, and that that God, or to some extent, wipes away their tears every day. And it made me real fun. It was funny because my daughter was watching the video with me, and she was looking at the statue, and she said, "Why it look like that statue moving?" And I was laughing. I said, "Well, you know what? In that one movie, it was a movie about a museum, and it showed that how stuff come to life, in the museum." I don't know, it was just funny. We was just laughing about it or whatever. And I was, she was kind of scared. I said, girl, I'm just joking. But in my mind, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Okay? Because if you, it's something about white robes. Google white robes Bible. Read through the verses. You know, so Google helps to a certain extent. If you already have an inkling or a something in you that's telling you something. So it could just be for confirmation of something that's already, you know, being displayed in, you know, in your mind's eye. Okay. But again, you know, and for just some things, not everything. Okay. And so, but the one spirit held in captivity, and not many as the people think. Okay. All right. Because we're going to look at those. And I think around that chapter, when it says something about the white robes, it says something about he has his hand on a palm, or a palm in his hand, right? And I think I was telling y'all about something like this before. But now I think we found it. I think we found it right there in that rotunda. It's a white statue, okay? And when you look at when it says cast in white, whatever, okay, look, it's cast is saying something about like a covering or a molding or something. Then once you start reading that, again, we can go real deep with it, but I'm just saying that's just depends on where you want to go with it. All right. Somebody had to come up with the idea of shit coming alive, and I'm not saying it does. I'm just, maybe they're just showing you there was life in it, or something else, something going on with it, you know, spiritual, or some kind of hex or something on it. You know, I'm not saying that it actually is walking around. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? What is it really? All right. So, and oh yeah, you'll see that in one of those statues, that one of those guys has a palm tree, a stump of a palm tree under his hand, standing right next to his leg. And hopefully I'll show you guys another day. We'll look at it or whatever. Okay. All right. From the east, they cause the people to have other thoughts. Where's the east of our garden? Is it Washington, D.C.? Yo, I'm just having fun tonight. I'm trying to hurry up with this because I need to finish cooking. They were men who knew the ways of heaven and acts of the people. Is the sun spirit indeed supreme? Is this not a thing requiring such thought? Consider its movements. Wait a minute. Consider its movements. They are not. Consider its movements. Current movements, even, we could be talking about. Are they not more like those of one who is directed in his command? Who is directed in his comings and goings? That he is directed in his comings and goings. Can't think on your own, stumbling when you speak. Can't walk in the direction you need to. Teleprompters that's getting caught when you said you ain't using one. Things like this. Y'all, I shouldn't even be going here, but I'm going. All right. Does it move about freely? As it wills? Or is it restricted and held to its appointed path, like a yoke ox, or as the ass trending out corn? Does it rise up from the netherworld as it wills, or go down into the cavern of the darkness by its own decree? Is its path more like that of a stone hurled forth by the hand of man? Is it not like a boat controlled by the will of man rather than a free-ranged God? Is it not more like a slave under the direction of a master? These things disturb the hearts of the people. Did y'all see? Is it Giuliani? Which one was representing Trumpet? Did y'all see his face melting off in that video? Now, I seen it on one side. I said, hold on, maybe that's just some gel or something. Then he turned to the other side. You can see the shit on the other side too. Right in the same spot. What are we dealing with? I know y'all have seen other discrepancies, those who are seeking anyway. Those are who I'm talking to. And again, I can say that this might be some kind of thing to deceive us too, but most people don't even know what the Kolbrin Bible is. I can see if they started pushing and promoting this one, even the non-commodity is promoted, but this one is not. So obviously they don't really think or want you even looking in the direction of it. And this is supposed to be old like the Bible, and look what it's saying, if not older. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, I can see if they made it and then made it something on the top 1 sellers list or something, but no. So it's just funny to me. Okay. All right. Rather than a free-ranging God, is it not more like a slave under the direction of a master? These things disturbed the hearts of the people. Some pondered upon them, but others, in the manner of men, cried death to those who deny the truth of these things. You understand me? Do you understand me? Somebody is being deceived here. Somebody is being deceived here. Okay? However, because of the things said, the worship of the older gods, and even when we talk about American gods and they talk about the old gods are going to be desolate or whatever. Like, come on, man. They putting shit right in front of our face. We can not look, or you can. We can not look, or you can. All right? Worshiping the older gods grew in strength. Okay? So again, worshiping the older gods grew in strength. So people is disturbed by this new, right? They crying to have who back? Again, this is still the people. I don't know. I'm not quite sure if the people is representing us yet. Okay. For the people had never turned from Sirah, who was with them before the first water channel was cut. He was not the God of the high-born, but of the lowly people. This is the land of 2 peoples, of 2 nations, 2 priesthoods, 2 streams of wisdom. Okay, and again, streams of wisdom and streams can be in the mind or the head or the brain as well, you know, in my eyes. Okay. Streaming. What are we doing with music and with YouTube and all these other things these days? All right. And 2 hierarchies of gods. It is a land where the light of truth burns brightly through hidden. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, just making sure. Though hidden away from the eyes of all but a few. It is the land of dawning on earth. Did that just dawn on you? Did that just dawn on you? Okay. So again, that's just the one part. That's one of the chapters of the Kolbrin Bible. Again, I think it's like $40-something, $50 on Amazon. I'm just saying, look, it's just some people that need to know things. It's just some people, you know, and I'm not saying that this is the only way, you know what I'm saying, that we're gonna know anything, but it does help. When I go to sleep at night tonight, that's what I'm gonna say. A lot of new things, enlightening things that are going to help me, guide me in these times, are going to be more clear. Okay. Again, I'm one that feels like this is just a hunch. That we take this stuff in. Sometimes you're led to certain things at certain times, because I didn't, out of the whole book, I haven't really been deep into it like I want to be, but something led me there, and I'm sharing it with you guys now. Again, and you don't have to read it like me, you don't have to think of it like me or whatever. This is your own key, possibly, just to help you. Some of us see with images, some with words, some with, you know what I'm saying? So it's just something to open up. I call doorways or gateways, right? And then it's an assistance with what's already in you, or downloaded, or whatever you're receiving. through nature, through what's going on in the skies, what's going on with the luminaries that are really within you. All these things work together. I don't know, people could call it alchemy, chemistry, you know, they got all these names, everything. To me, all that is not important. It's about to decipher, okay. But when we're talking about people that are waking up and getting in tune and starting to vibrate and whatever, realize these things, that, you know what I'm saying? Who knows, right? Who knows? I can't tell you that part. But anyways, I want to thank you guys. Again, gratitude for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm going to go ahead and do like 3 more, okay, books. And again, just let me know what y'all think. Please, just let me know what you think. Because, again, I'm seeing something here that feels like it's hidden away. And again, it's giving me some kind of life, actually. Just to see things like this. Again, some people don't care. They'd rather whatever. But I'm just someone that has to be. I'm very, when I hone in on things that I feel I need to know. Okay? So again, there's other ways to grow in this ascension or ascending. But again, I'm just a watcher. I'm just somebody that sees things and I share them. It helps me help other people. I've already come to the conclusion or something, or I've already had the information about some things, see? And somebody else might have it about those things and those things and those things. That's why I look to my soul siblings, right? All right? So I'm just saying that these are just tools. It's not everything. This is not the only thing, you know, that I do, you know, to try to seek self or to get a deeper understanding, or when it comes to the guides, this is not the only thing I do. This is just the part that is on my heart that I should share with other people, because information like this helped unlock so many things for me. And since I'm able to discern and see it using proper terms, because again, there's no arguing about it. Someone told me in my video the other day that I'm using a word to do something. No, I'm actually using that word and seeing what it actually means, and I'm applying it there. I'm applying it the way that it actually means, not the way I was taught or told in school. So that's a total different thing. Okay? So again, everybody can think what they want to think, as long as you being lifted at the end of the day. That's why I don't stick too much on different names and all this other. It's all about you in the end. It's all about you. Okay? All right? So I'll see you guys soon. Take care.